everybody, welcome back. Another weekly episode brought to you by Addie's. Check their logo here. Also, brought to you by Queen City Creative Works. Again, if you ever want branded material, go to their website, queencitycreativeworks.com. Choose from a multitude of items.
Multitude, he says.
And you can get them branded. They are a married couple that run a business together. They live in Cheektowaga, and they do great things for not only the community, but for people all over the country. They make products. They then mail those products to wherever they have to go by dropping them off to USPS, and away they go, and then arrive at your house. And then you don't have to sign for them unless you really want to. And you would set that up through USPS anyways, not through Queen City Creative Works.
Correct.
We have been working with them on a couple items that are going to be branded with our logo. And you can go on their website and choose some of the items that you would like to purchase and get sent to you. And Queen City Creative Works loves the business. We appreciate the business. And what we're trying to do is just work with them as a collaboration to get you more branded material of ours for you guys to rep and enjoy and have out there for more free advertising, because that's our goal and that's our mission. So Queen City Creative Works, thank you very much for supporting our show and for being our friends. I know we're a lot to handle and extremely annoying, and that is okay.
For sure. We're okay with that. Kind of other housekeeping stuff. One, we have a new single barrel that is coming out with Clonakilty in partnership with Addie's. So if you are interested in that, it is an Irish whiskey finished in a Sauternes barrel. It is a French white dessert wine, and it's going to be the only one like it in the country. It's going to be $60. You go to the Addie's Wine and Spirits app on either your Google Play or Apple App Store. Go to their app, and you can buy it right now. You have to buy it with a credit card right now. You can't pick it up in store. This is how we're doing pre-orders this time. So you have to buy
you
it.
can't pay at the store. You can pick it up at the store.
Yeah.
You can't pay at the store.
In March. So you got to pay for it now using a credit card on the app. You can't pick it up in store. You can't have that option selected. So $60. This is how we're doing pre-orders. So order it right now, because it's probably not going to be available for very long, since it is very unique. So do recommend going to that right now. Second, we have a new batch of sweatshirts releasing very soon that we do want to talk about, because this is going to be an awesome collection for you guys. It's going to be different than our normal sweatshirts, which Mike is wearing right now. It's going to be a completely different logo. It's going to be a completely different style of sweatshirt, but it's still going to be a pullover type sweatshirt to keep you nice, warm, and cozy during the cold days, because it's been cold lately.
AKA crew neck sweaters, not a hoodie.
Correct. And it is still going to be the same type of material, so it's still going to be very soft. If you've had one of our sweatshirts before, you know how good they are. Mike and I do not skimp on quality when it comes to this type of stuff, so you do know that it's going to be very comfortable, and it's going to be a drop shoulder. So what that means is it's going to be more t-shirt style, more comfy, and it's going to be a great cuddle sweater. And a cool thing about it, too, is it's a different color.
It's a different color. It's a different logo with different colors inside said logo. We are using another local small business to do the work, and we appreciate them because they are fantastic. And price is $45.
Yeah, probably. We haven't discussed price yet. So
it's about $45.
45, 50, 55, 70, I don't know. One of the four.
We might just increase it to all increases. Trust me, it's great.
But inflation went up.
So
shut up.
We'll figure it out.
It'll be fine.
Around 45. We'll see what it ends up being.
Give or take $40.
Yeah, or $70. So it's fine. One way or the other, just getting only up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're excited for that. We appreciate it. And then, of course, portion of all proceeds are going to be donated to a different nonprofit.
If you do...
Little miscommunication on the nonprofit side, so we're figuring that out. Don't worry, navigating them waters.
We always donate to a nonprofit, so we have to.
Correct. And we shot the azimuth, so we're going down the road, and I'm doing everything in my power to ensure that I get somebody on the telephone and say, hey, do you want free money? And if you say no, well, your IQ's 4, and I'm moving on. So anyways.
We started pre-orders, or kind of like notification on these sweaters last week. And if you wanted to get in on that, it was released only to our patrons for the first week. So you can make sure that they get the sweaters first, because they're helping support the podcast. We want to help support the boys back.
It's a good idea there, Derek. That's a good idea.
Exactly. So if you wanted to be a part of our happy hour crew, which is what we call our lovely patrons, you can go to patreon.com/Buffalo Happy Hour. You can find a plethora of tiers there. There's 5 totaling from $3 a tier all the way up to $50 a month. So you can choose one of those, whatever fits your budget. But we love the $50 ones, obviously more than everybody else. Just kidding, not really. But you can then figure out if you want to get notified early of these special releases that we're doing with the sweater. So if you do want to go check that out, patreon.com/Buffalo Happy Hour.
We have to dive into today's meat of the episode.
Which is probably an absolute useless fact.
Well, I did one better, Derek, because I have a bone to pick. And we have to get your phones ready because we're going to be Googling some things because newsflash.
What are you watching, bro?
There was a pop-up. Okay, so if you're new here, please like, comment, and subscribe. But I always like to start our weekly episodes with a useless fact. Today, I have 25 of them.
Jesus Christ, why?
And the reason being, Derek, is because we were lied to in school. And I got a bone to pick because I need you here. I need you right here. I will wait. I need you right here. I need you right here.
Sorry, we just got a group chat and I love it.
There is a bone to pick with New York State's public schools.
Are you sure it's just New York State?
That's where we went, so that's where the bone's to pick. We were lied to, and this...
If we're going to go down a rabbit hole before Christ and after death, I'm going to lose my mind.
That's what started this whole thing. But there's 25 things that we learned in school that were completely wrong, and that's not fair to us.
So do you have the real, or are we looking up the real?
I have 25 things that we were taught in school that are wrong.
But do you know the right answer?
Yeah, of
okay.
course.
Well, I don't know if you were like looking for us to start getting to the bottom of all these lies.
Ready?
Sure.
Number 1, chameleons always blend in with their backgrounds. Not true. It's a widely held belief, one's bolstered by kindergarten teachers giving inaccurate lessons on lizards. Okay, these reptiles don't transform every time they come upon a new color. In fact, they don't even have the ability to match every background they slither up to. When they aren't trying to blend in, their skin color changes to reflect their mood. Good to know. Number 2, Christopher Columbus discovered...
You can't just gloss over these like we're not going to discuss them.
Okay, fine.
All right, number 2. No, I'm just kidding. What?
So chameleons can change their colors of their skin to match certain environments, but their color options are limited. What's more, when they aren't trying to blend in, their skin color changes to reflect their mood.
Okay, so were we actually lied to, or were we just too naive to think that they can match literally the entire 1.1 billion different colors out there?
Well, that's what we thought, especially because Pixar movies came out, and then that was the thing. Did you see Monsters, Inc.? They had that one monster that was able to just... and then change color? Lie. Number 2.
We're not done with the lizards,
There's 25.
Bro. All right, well, we'll get there. We have an hour.
There's 25.
All right, number 2.
Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1492. Obviously, we all know that's not true at all. There were people that were literally here, and then he showed up, and he was a borderline conquistador. He did horrific things in the world. That's also now why they moved it to Indigenous People Day or whatever. But just so we can keep it, status quo, contrary to what you learned in school, the explorer did not discover America when he landed in 1492. The land had previously been inhabited for centuries by Native Americans, plus many scholars believe that other explorers from Europe, Asia, and Africa had already landed here long before Columbus. Next one is in the same vein. Columbus discovered that the Earth was flat. Or it wasn't flat.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It wasn't flat.
That's wrong. It's wrong.
Wrong. Well, we don't really know.
What do you mean?
We don't know if the Earth is not flat.
We're moving on.
I understand that we kind of do, but we also kind of don't. Like, we have
people in space that said, hey, it's not flat. That's enough proof.
But we're relying on their word. You haven't gone up in space, have you?
What is wrong with you?
I'm not saying that it's not. But we also were told that the COVID vaccine is effective. This video is coming down, effective immediately. We are told lies by teachers that said that chameleons can blend in with every color. How do we know that these NASA guys just aren't, or whoever's up in space isn't lying? We technically don't know because you and I have never been into space. I'm not saying it's flat. I believe the Earth is round. But we also don't have proof that it isn't flat. Based off of
I just have to say, if you are fully vaccinated, get COVID, and don't die, the vaccine worked. Just saying. What I will say is that the vaccine is not working as initially advertised by Mr. Fauci and then everyone else in the CDC and Congress and etc. Name them. It's all a bunch of hobblegosh, and it's frustrating. But yes, you're not wrong, but you're not right either. So anyways, Columbus didn't discover America. He also didn't discover that the Earth wasn't flat. In fact, it's likely that he already knew it was round when he set off to supposedly debunk the flat Earth theory. Historians believe that educated people in Columbus's day, and even those centuries earlier, knew that Earth was round. Columbus apparently even owned a book called Geography that described planet Earth as being of a spherical shape. Columbus was not concerned with falling off the Earth's edge, but rather with the size of the ocean he wanted to cross.
So what makes you discover something then? You being the first one to come across it? Is that you discovering something, or is it you then naming whatever you have?
Probably a mixture of both.
Because then Columbus discovered America. I understand people were here before, but he came here and said, this is ours now. And then that's how he discovered what modern day America is. If he never
he didn't even find America, though.
What do you mean?
Didn't he land in, like, the Caribbean first? Like some nonsense, and thought that he made it, and he really didn't make it?
Well, yeah, but then he found his way here.
With the Plymouth Rock? Next one.
You're going through these way too fast. What's the next one?
Because there's better ones that we can dive into. The seasons are determined by the Earth's proximity to the sun. Wrong. Contrary to what you were taught about the solar system, the seasons have nothing to do with the Earth's proximity to the sun. Rather, it's the Earth's tilt that causes fall, winter, spring, and summer.
I knew that. You thought it was proximity to the sun?
No, people did.
Oh.
Abraham Lincoln...
AKA you.
Abraham Lincoln single-handedly abolished slavery. Obviously not the case.
Wrong.
He's credited with it, but it wasn't that straightforward. Lincoln wasn't even in favor of both races having equal rights, and he didn't even technically free all the slaves with his Emancipation Proclamation. The Virginia Museum of History and Culture points out that in recent decades, some historians have minimized Lincoln's role and argued that the enslaved freed themselves. I wonder how much of that is society and how much of that is historically accurate.
I don't know. But there is a new series coming out called Manhunt that you should watch. Did I tell you about this already?
Yeah, last week.
You need to watch it because it's going to be a sweet episode or a series on Apple TV that goes through a guy hunting down John Wilkes Booth. So it's going to be a sweet series all around Abraham Lincoln.
Number 6 is a joke, so I'm kind of just going to skip it. Listening to classical music can make you smarter. Clearly, that's not accurate because I listen to classical all the time when I'm at work to keep my mind focused, but it doesn't make me smarter. It just makes me more productive and minimizes the fake, non-existing ambient noise. That drives me insane.
But doesn't that in turn make you smarter?
No.
If you're more focused?
No, it makes me more productive. It doesn't make me smarter.
But being more productive, couldn't that make you smarter?
No, my IQ has not increased because of classical music.
I think it has.
Ben Shapiro would say otherwise. Number 7, Pluto is not a planet. Or I'm sorry, Pluto is a planet.
This one's a little controversial because it is and it isn't, and it is and it isn't.
So it's not technically a planet, but they've reclassified it as a dwarf planet, which 3 weeks ago...
Rude.
When we
call
talked
it Little
about
People Planet?
When we talked about space, I was getting blown up by family saying it's technically a dwarf planet. Newsflash. Don't care. So essentially, NASA categorized Pluto as a dwarf planet and upgraded it from a star, which is what they originally classified it as when they removed its title of planet. which it's a planet, except it doesn't travel around the sun in a perfect circle.
So is that what makes a planet a planet? Is that it travels around the sun in a perfect circle?
Apparently.
Let me look that up, because I did not know that.
Next
That's kind of fast. Jesus Christ.
False fact. Raindrops are all tear-shaped. Lies. They're shaped more like halves of hamburger buns, and they tend to morph as they fall toward Earth. Now, this is the one that I wanted to ask you about.
Hold on. So a planet is a celestial body that A, is in orbit around the sun, B, has sufficient mass for its self-gravity to overcome rigid body forces so that it assumes a hydrostatic equilibrium shape, which is a sphere, and C, it has cleared the neighborhood around its orbit.
Oh, there's neighborhoods now.
Yeah, it's just walking down.
Oh. Are there HOAs up there?
So Pluto, that seems pretty self-explanatory. So how are they making it a planet and not? Is the gravitational pull of Pluto changing? And it's like dropping in and out of like the threshold?
Isn't space ever changing, bro? You ready for this one? This is going to send you into orbit, no pun intended. You can never start a sentence with a conjunction. Some professors may not like sentences that start with conjunctions, but when it comes to grammatically correctness, conjunctions are okay. There is a widespread belief, one with no historical or grammatical foundation, that it is an error to begin a sentence with a conjunction, such as and, but, or so. In fact, a substantial percentage, often as many as 10%, of the sentences in first-rate writing begin with conjunctions. It has been so for centuries, and even the most conservative grammarians,
What's my grandma saying?
have followed this practice. So you can start a sentence with and, but, or so. I always got yelled at when we were in Hilbert for starting a sentence with and. And I said, I don't care. I'm still in my undergrad.
Well, I think and is different than so. Like if you end
I agree with
essay and you're like, so in conclusion, I mean, I guess you can just say in conclusion. I guess the real thing is like, is it necessary?
Are we in MLA format or not?
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. I think that it's more of a question of is it necessary versus is it good to do?
Necessary for me.
Like if you say so in conclusion, you can just say in conclusion. You don't need the so.
Right.
But this fact, you can just say this fact. Like I don't know if they're necessary. Why are they even there then? Because
of the middle and towards the end of the sentence. Next one. Your blood's blue when it's deoxygenized or deoxygenated. I can't even say that word. Your blood's blue inside your skin.
Some of it is.
It's not.
Your veins are.
Correct. So here, listen. When learning about your body, you were probably told that deoxygenated blood is blue. However, that's untrue. Your blood's red, regardless of whether it's in contact with oxygen or not. According to Live Science, the blue hues of the veins inside your body has to do with how your eyes absorb and see color.
I don't like that rule.
Well, don't know what to tell you.
Because then everything's a lie. If it's just how your eyes see color, that's literally color.
It's not, though, because we don't see the entire color spectrum.
Well, yeah, but if you're telling me that something's blue, but or something's red, but your eyes are seeing blue, then it's fucking blue.
Well, the thing that we were taught is that it's blue inside your body, and then it's red when it comes outside of your skin. That's not true. It's always red. That's their point.
But if I'm looking at it and it's blue, it's blue.
It's not. Your veins are blue.
Well, then why didn't they say the veins are blue?
They said the blue hue of the veins inside your body, meaning your veins are blue, has to do with how your eyes absorb and see color. Meaning you see blue.
Yeah, so then just say the veins are blue. That's why you're seeing blue. Don't say the veins are blue, which is making
Derek,
you see red blood blue.
The person that wrote this article is smarter than you.
I don't know about that. We'll see. Get them in an IQ test. I don't know about that.
Number 11. We only use 10% of our brains. The myth has been reinforced over the years by popular movies like Lucy and Limitless. However, research shows that the brain uses about 20% of the body's energy. A professor of neurology at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine even noted that humans use virtually every part of the brain. Okay, false fact, and this is super obvious. If you swallow gum, it doesn't take you 7 years to digest it. You know how insane bile is? If you took drops of bile and put it on steel, it would dissolve steel.
Yeah, if you have juicy fruit in your mouth, it basically dissolves in your mouth because it sucks.
Camels use their humps to store water. Wrong.
Never heard of that before.
Seriously?
Yeah. They're storing water in their humps?
Yeah.
Wouldn't the humps then be malleable and not bony?
Well, it's not that they're bony. It's just that that's where they store their water.
But it's not, though.
Well, it's a fat storage. If I'm correct, I haven't read this yet, but that's what it's not actually water, it's fat. Let me check. Contrary to what you've been taught about thirsty camels in the desert, the animals don't use their humps to store water. According to the Library of Congress, their mouths are filled with fat. Boom! More useless knowledge that I knew. So that they can travel days throughout the desert without food. Next one.
Why wouldn't you just store it in your stomach like every other animal?
Oh my god, Derek.
Like, rhinos and hippos are the fattest thing in the entire world outside of myself. So why?
I was like, that's a perfect segue for a mom joke.
So why wouldn't they just store it there? Is it more efficient to store it on your back? If so, why don't rhinos do it? Next, you're going to tell me that their horns are filled with fat.
It's
not
probably
an
on
actual
their
bone.
back because of their skeletal system.
Don't act like you know.
I'm not acting like I know. All right, next one. Eating carrots will help your vision. They're rich in beta-carotene, a nutrient that your body converts to a form of vision-enhancing vitamin A called retinol. Sorry, thought this was a category for one of those bad, naughty sites. University of California, Berkeley points out... Oh, well, they're wrong. Just kidding. However, this benefit doesn't apply to you unless you're deficient in vitamin A due to a poor diet, malabsorption problems, or alcoholism. Literally have no idea what that is. Most Americans eat enough beta-carotene and vitamin A in their diets already, so don't worry about it.
So it's not a lie. It's just an embellishment of the truth.
Don't worry about adding carrots to every meal just to maintain 20/20 vision. False
Isn't it
fact.
like isn't there another thing though that it doesn't necessarily help your vision, it just helps night vision? Like
I
you're
don't know.
putting on those and you can see like green.
Fun
at
fact,
night.
they don't sound like that, but...
I don't know, that's what Splinter Cell told me, okay?
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you think Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity?
No. He didn't. I know he didn't.
What did he do then? With the flying kite thing?
No, it was some black guy that did. He actually discovered. I don't know his name, but he actually discovered it. Benjamin Franklin didn't.
So what was the point of Benjamin Franklin
I
doing
don't know.
that?
I think that he just did something.
Benjamin Franklin conducted that experiment to prove that lightning in the sky was electricity.
Sure. But he didn't discover electricity.
Well, we were taught he discovered electricity by flying a kite and getting
I
electrocuted.
wasn't.
Okay, well. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. He didn't. He stole it from someone. Just kidding.
Hold on. So who actually invented electricity? What's his name?
I don't know. Probably the Elon before Elon, who looks like Elon nowadays.
No, I'm serious. He was
His Tesla. His name is
the
Tesla.
guy who invented. No, it wasn't.
Well, who was that guy? Who was the guy that used electricity all over the place?
That was Tesla, but he's not the one who invented it, I don't think.
Who invented it?
That's what I'm looking up right now, Mike.
Well, work faster. Act like you have 5G and take down airplanes with it. Because apparently that's a thing now. Did you Google who invented electricity?
Yeah.
Anything come up?
Inventors: Alexander Lodigan, not black. R.G. Letourneau, also not black. Who was I thinking of that? I could have sworn that somebody invented electricity.
Was God black?
We don't know, man. We don't see in color. Because
I mean,
apparently the blood inside you is red.
If he's in Jerusalem, he's probably tan, tell you that.
Well, technically Nikola Tesla was Serbian. Indo facto.
Okay. So then who invented the light bulb?
Who? Or are you asking me like a real question?
They don't even tell you who invented the light bulb. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. He didn't. Thomas Edison was at least some iteration of a light bulb in existence before Edison. Okay, so there was at least one iteration of a light bulb before Edison. His light bulb was the first that proved practical and affordable for home illumination. Because he tried to make it like 2,000 times.
CNN just posted an article, not just, it's September 4th, 2020, so I'm automatically not trusting, I'm just kidding. Their title of the article says, no, a black man didn't invent the light bulb, but Lewis Howard Latimer made it better. So that's the guy who I was talking about, was Lewis Howard Latimer. He was a presidential candidate. Nope, I lied. He was not a presidential candidate. He's just saying it. On Thursday, presidential candidate Joe Biden claimed a black man who invented the light bulb, not a white guy named Edison. So I guess he just took it and made it better. But that's who I was thinking of.
Anyways.
I knew I didn't make that up out of nowhere.
False fact. Isaac Newton discovered gravity when an apple fell on his head. Teachers love to tell the fun anecdote of Sir Isaac Newton discovering gravity when an apple fell on his head to get kids interested in gravity. While it has been confirmed that Newton was in an orchard when he witnessed an apple drop from a tree, there's no evidence to prove that it hit him in the head. Also, that's not how the scientists discovered gravity. It simply got him thinking about the concept and eventually led to his discovery of the law of universal gravitation. False fact, there's no gravity in space.
That's not true.
According to NASA...
Your whiskey's making me nervous. Can you put it on the center of your coaster? Thank you.
According to NASA, a small amount of gravity can be found everywhere in space. The organization notes that gravity is what holds the moon in orbit around Earth. Gravity causes Earth to orbit the sun. And for more realities that are almost too insane to check out these fun facts. But, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So...
There's a gravitational pull in space, but is there gravity in space? Like, you're weightless.
Well, yeah, you just said.
There's a gravitational pull between two planets that have gravity. But, like, in space itself, are you, who is an individual that's in space, affected by gravitational pulls of planets when you're in space? I think that's more of the question.
If you float away in space, you get sucked into something. So there's gravitational pull, i.e.
What if
gravity.
you're right in the middle? You're right in the middle of two places.
Then you're floating towards something that has it.
You're right in the middle. So everything around you, I guess then that would be the evidence that gravitational pull could be equal to one another.
Yeah.
Because then you would be stuck in a spot, you know?
Interesting.
But is gravitational pull the same as gravity?
It's got to be. Gravity's in the name.
I don't know about that.
What? What do you mean I don't know about that? Are we at 15 yet?
Dude, we're way past 15. We're at 30 already. Get over here and you man this thing. I know you're mad at me because I keep missing this. You come here and you sit here and you can chuckle at all of our stuff.
He'll be here
and
in
press
April.
the button. Will he? Is
Yeah.
he coming back on?
I don't know.
Is gravitational...
He's here for a weekend, but for work.
Oh, really?
Yeah. OPSEC, no specific dates. Never change, my man.
Yeah, okay. So the major difference between gravitation and gravity is the gravitational forces occur between two different or the same objects, while the force of gravity acts between the Earth's surface and any object. So gravity is the Earth impacting you, not how the Earth is magnetic in a sense because of gravitational pull to the sun. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I could have just made that up again. I don't know. I Googled something came up. But if you Google anything, you'll find something to validate your point. So I'm probably still stupid along with this guy. Don't worry about us.
Next one.
We really should have qualified people on the show to talk about all this stuff.
The Great Wall of China is the only man-made object visible from space. China. Teachers love to tout the fact that the Great Wall of China is the only man-made object visible from space. However, that's incorrect. The Great Wall of China usually is invisible from space, at least not to the unaided eye in low Earth orbit. It certainly is invisible from the moon, NASA clarifies. False fact. Humans only have 5 senses.
Why do people think that the Great Wall of China was visible from... Like, why was that even touted?
because
not even
it
that
came up on
big.
like a
It's just
satellite.
long.
Pause. It was photographed from space, and it was clear as day that it was the Great Wall of China, and they couldn't see anything else. And they're like, okay, it's the only man-made thing from space. It's not. You can also see a flock of flamingos from space. They're not man-made. Are they, though? Because God is man and God combined into one. That's what Jesus was. He was man and God in one person.
2.3 billion years after God existed, but whatever.
Okay. Humans only have 5 senses. Touch, sight, taste, smell, and hearing are just the 5 basic senses.
I got the 6th spidey sense.
And there's a good chance your teacher didn't go past those. Other senses include the sense of space, balance, pain, and temperature. Okay, so first of all, the sense of space.
I feel like this person was high when they wrote this article.
Balance, I don't think is a sense. Pain would fall under touch.
I mean, I guess.
And temperature would fall under touch and sight and smell as well, because when you're burning alive, you smell weird. So that's stupid.
I don't think that's what they're talking about.
Next
like,
one.
Heat is touching your skin, so I could see that. Like, I would say the sense of balance could be one in itself, because you can sense when you're unbalanced and you're falling off or you're doing whatever. Like, that's a sense that wouldn't correlate with one of the others. Like, if you close your eyes, I'm good. I'm going to have more Lafroig. If you close your eyes, you close your nose, you put earmuffs on, you take away literally all of your senses, and you start getting unbalanced, your body feels weird. So I would say that is there's a sense of balance there. But heat, I don't believe, because heat is the atmospheric temperature touching your skin. That's heat, right?
Yeah.
What were the other two?
And
Pain?
the waves penetrating you.
Pain, I could see a sense of pain too.
That's touch, though.
Is it though? Because
yeah. When do you feel pain?
all the time. No, but like if your gut starts hurting out of nowhere, that's not something touching your gut.
Well, there's neurological. I
There
guess
you go.
in a neurological sense, then pain is a sense, but
There you go. That is all what pain is, right? It's just a neurological signal sending to your brain that I shouldn't be doing this.
Right, but sometimes it's neurological, i.e. inside your body, but then anything else is touch because it has to physically touch you to cause pain.
Not like your gut start hurting.
Well, that's neurological.
Yeah, so
that's what I'm
there's a
saying.
neurological sense of pain.
I just said that. Keep drinking Lafroig. You're doing great.
So what is the fourth one?
Temperature.
Temperature, pain, balance, and then what?
Space.
Space. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Next question.
Did not have enough shrooms to answer that. The tongue's
sense of space, man.
The tongue is divided into taste bud zones.
Fake news.
Remember the handy map you got in biology class that depicted the tongue with taste bud zones. You can throw it out if you have, for some reason, if you still have it for some reason, rather. The fact of the matter is, it's not actually true that you can only taste certain things on certain parts of your tongue. While some areas are more sensitive to certain flavors, the average human has up to 8,000 taste buds scattered all over their tongue, each of which contains a mixture of receptor cells that can process any and all of the 5 tastes. This one's controversial, so we're going to go
of your tongue,
full send.
There are parts of your tongue that are more populated with taste buds, right?
I don't know. There's 8,000 taste buds on your tongue.
Yeah, like the back. You can see your elevated taste buds, right? Aren't those what those are?
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean there's a higher concentration. It just means they're elevated.
Why would they be elevated if they're not, like, better?
Anyways. You ready for this one? We're going real deep. Rosa Parks didn't give up her seat on that bus because she was tired.
We're getting canceled.
Some people paint Rosa Parks to be a lot more passive than she was in school. Students are often taught that she didn't give her seat to a white person on the bus because she was too tired to move. But this wasn't the case. People always say that I didn't give up my seat because I was too tired. The civil rights leader wrote in her autobiography, "It's not true. I wasn't physically tired. The only tired I was tired of giving in." What is savage?
Hold on. People were taught that the only reason she didn't move was because she was just tired.
That was, it was taught that her reason for not moving was because she was tired.
Then why would they tout her or why would she become a civil rights leader if she was just tired? Again,
Correct.
another
Probably
topic that I'm
because
not qualified
white
to
people
talk
ruin
about.
everything.
Yeah, but like that doesn't even make sense. Then you didn't stand it and stick it to the white guy if that's true because you're just tired. That's stupid. It had to have been a reason like that. I don't know if I was ever taught that either. I think you just went to a weird school, bud.
You can always use the North Star to guide your way home because it's the brightest star in the sky.
That's a stupid point. If anybody knows anything about stars and direction, that doesn't make any sense.
There's many stars that shine brighter than Polaris. It's only number 50 on the list of brightest stars. You know, some planets outshine it too. So, that might be my next insult. You shine as bright as a North Star, and then walk away.
Nerd. They're going to feel real good about themselves. But from a directional standpoint, that doesn't even make sense.
What are you talking about?
How are you going to be able to find your way home using the North Star?
Because it's pointing north, and you just have to know
But
astrology
then you
to
have to
locate
know.
it.
But you have to know then where. Like you can't follow the North Star. You locate it, and then you know what direction you are. You don't follow the star.
Derek, when were we taught about following the North Star?
Like when we were 3 years old. Not really. Probably what, 3rd grade?
What was it around? What was it being taught in conjunction with?
I don't know.
Something underground, maybe? There's a woman. Made a couple trips.
What?
Harriet Tubman. You didn't learn about the North Star in conjunction with Harriet Tubman
I don't
using it
remember
on
when
the
I was
Underground
that
Railroad?
young.
Okay. When I went to school, like a normal human being, I was taught, apparently Derek is just having a brain lapse, that Harriet Tubman used the North Star to successfully travel on the Underground Railroad to free slaves after she already earned freedom by escaping the southern states and making her way north. And she used the North Star. That's the first time I heard about the North Star in my entire life, and I was like in 3rd grade. Because I didn't care. All I wanted to do was go home and eat my snacky snacks. So in that, as long as you can identify which star is the North Star, then you have due north. And when you're traveling north to south, that's all you need. You get a little squirrely, I guess, if you're facing east and west, and then you have to relocate it, and you're like, oh, north's that way, and then you reshoot and drive on.
That's what I'm saying. So why did they say follow the North Star to go home? You're not following
Because they're
anything.
Because they're referencing the Underground Railroad.
Well, I understand
is what
that,
I
but
would
logistically
assume.
it doesn't make sense. You're not following. If they said find the North Star to find where north is, that makes sense. But following the North Star, some poor kid is just going to keep walking because he's lost and doesn't know where he's going. He's going to be like, oh, I got to get right under the North Star. I'll be home.
Unless
that doesn't make any sense.
Unless he lives in New York and he's trying to flee Florida.
Exactly.
All right. False fact. The original Thanksgiving was a peaceful gathering. I guess this is just allowing you to talk politics on Thanksgiving now. Because then it's no longer peaceful. All right. As school children, the days before Thanksgiving were spent making hand turkeys and talking about what we were thankful for. However, this idea that Thanksgiving was historically about peace and thankfulness is completely false.
Love it.
After colonial soldiers slaughtered 700 men, women, and children of the Pequots, Massachusetts colony governor John Winthrop decided to host a party to celebrate those soldiers. Suffice it to say that the first Thanksgiving was far from peace and unity. They also didn't have turkey. They had seafood, because that's all that was there. Anyways.
Yeah, where did turkey come from?
That's a good question. Actually, didn't they talk about that in within like the last 7 years about how it actually used to be a seafood meal? Like the Pilgrims had seafood and like maybe corn. And then all of a sudden over the years it became this massive feast of turkey and all the normal fixings that you have on Thanksgiving. Are you checking that?
Yeah.
What are they saying?
From Britannica.com says, for meat, the Wampanoag brought deer, and the Pilgrims provided wild, quote, fowl. Strictly speaking, that, quote, fowl could have been turkeys, which were native to the area, but historians think it was probably duck or geese.
Yeah. So they shot some waterfowl.
Yeah.
Then they cooked them up. I'm sure they had crab and things too, especially after sleeping with some of them women. That's an awful joke. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
All right, anyways. False fact. Most of your body heat escapes through your head. That's false. Wow. Whether it was in science class or recess, it's likely you learned that the hats were essential in winter because most of your body heat escapes through your head. However, in time to toss this theory and your hat aside, research shows that only a small amount of heat is lost through the head. Larger surface areas, like the arms and legs, should be the main focus. The body should be protected, but it is a matter of individual preference whether or not to cover the head. One 2008 study in the British Medical Journal notes, and for more... Okay, yeah, that's it. So the British Medical Journal did some research in 2008 and found that you lose a majority of your heat through larger sections of surface area, which I guess makes a lot more sense compared to a head. But heat rises, so that's probably why they said, you know what, this is why. So that is all of them.
Isn't there another myth that says, like, if you go outside with wet hair, you're not going to catch a cold? Why are we always taught that?
No. I thought it was opposite. If you go outside with wet hair, you will catch a cold.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
So, but really, it doesn't. That's not true.
It's not?
No. If
My
you go
hair is too
outside-
short that it doesn't. I just literally draped a towel over my head and then it's dry.
I don't think you're going to catch a cold. You might catch something else, but you're not going to catch a cold. It's not how cold works. Cold's a virus, so it doesn't make any sense that your head being wet has anything to do with you catching a virus.
What vitamins do you take every day?
Vitamin D. That's it.
You only take vitamin D. Mm-hmm. You don't take C either? Mm-hmm. Why not?
I don't know.
I mean, vitamin D is more... Hold on. Remember the last time we talked about vitamins and everyone commented, make sure you tell Mike you can definitely shut, jeez. Leave us alone. All right? If you want to be all smart and whatnot, make your own podcast. Don't ask us for help. The vitamin D is more...
sun-related.
No. That's not my point. Vitamin D is directly related to your immune system more so than vitamin C is. Mm-hmm. So that's why I laughed when March, April 2020 was going around and people were having like panic attacks in Wegmans, and then there was no vitamin C to be found, but there was an overplus of vitamin D. I'm like, all of you are so dumb.
Yeah. The only reason why I have vitamin D is because I'm not outside a lot, and I don't drink or have any dairy or high vitamin D foods. So I know for me personally, that's where I'm deficient. Other vitamins I'm pretty good on because I eat a pretty wide variety of
things,
like nutrients that have vitamins in them that I'm good on them. I could probably use zinc too. So I'm pretty sure that's another thing that you're supposed to be eating or having now, supplementing. But from vitamin D, I just know that we're in Buffalo, dude. We don't get a lot of sun at all.
You like salads, right?
I eat a salad every day for lunch.
Okay, so let me check this because I have a ingredient added into my salads that I have every day. And that ingredient is kale. So I wanted to check to see if kale had zinc in it. In addition to zinc, kale offers vitamin A, K, B6, C, calcium, potassium, copper, manganese,
yeah.
all for only 33 calories per cup. Cal's a superfood. So if you want to add cal to your diets for lunch, then that would help you with your zinc and vitamin C intake for the day. Mm-hmm. What do your salads consist of? Just heads of romaine?
No. I do have romaine. I have chicken with it. Chicken, grapes, like nuts. So either a walnut or an almond.
Baby spinach?
Granola. Sometimes I'll add baby spinach, but it's mostly romaine.
I always do. I do
or arugula. When I'm at the office, I do it like an arugula blend.
Okay, bouge. I do an absurd amount of kale, and then I sprinkle in baby spinach.
Kale's so gross.
It's not.
It is.
It's not. You can buy it like pre-massaged and cut up.
Ew.
In bags.
Sounds even grosser.
Well,
pre-massaged? I want my lettuce pre-massaged.
Well, you have to.
Bougie.
You have to massage kale. I know, but you have to massage kale because that's how you actually like open up the fibers to intake all the vitamins that are in it.
I'm not massaging my food.
Listen, dude, it comes massaged. They did it for you, so you
Why are
just
you
buy
touching
it
my
pre-massaged. Oh my god! Everybody touches your food. How do you think you get your food? Where do you think it comes from?
I don't want people massaging my food. It's weird.
You should hunt with me.
No, I'm good.
What do you mean you're good?
I'm good. I'll just eat after.
You don't want to have that experience?
Not really. I've never really been like even wanting to hunt.
When are we having venison together?
To me, dude, I would feel so bad taking down a deer.
Why? You don't even watch it fall over.
I still wouldn't like doing it. I see deer in my yard literally every single morning, and I'm like, how could somebody shoot you?
Because it's fantastic for you. And that's Darwinism.
All right, so let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
This is going to be controversial.
I'm ready.
If there's reports that came out that said dogs are good for you, you wouldn't kill it. You wouldn't kill a dog.
Correct.
Regardless if it's wild or not. That's how I feel about deer. It's an animal. I'm not going to kill it. I mean, I'll have someone else kill it. That way I don't have to watch it. But I'm kind of on the border, dude. Like we were talking about the other day, I don't eat a lot of meat. And if I do eat meat, it's chicken. I don't want to watch anybody kill anything.
Oh, so you support factory farming of chickens?
Correct.
Perfect.
No, we do like all those healthy, grass-fed, non-factory farmy chickens. Dude, Gina spends way too much at the grocery store.
So I want to make a terrible joke about Asians eating dogs, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, don't do that.
But there's a massive difference.
You know they eat bats anyway, what?
I understand your point about that, but there's a literal overpopulation issue with deer and wild boar, and there's not an overpopulation issue with dogs. So
Sure. Well,
and if
sure.
they're going to be good for you, then
there's an overpopulation of dog issue in California. They're just running free.
No, if anything, it's Peru.
No, California's bad. There's wild dogs literally running around the entire state.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's an overpopulation of people in California. That's what we need. That's what we need to focus on. Oh my God.
But that's what I'll eat venison. I just don't want to kill it.
When are we having venison?
Anytime, dude. I would love venison. Venison jerky is amazing. I'll reap the benefits of someone else doing the work. I have no problem doing that. I just can't kill a deer. I just wouldn't do it. I would choke and not do it. The deer's not doing anything to me. If the deer's coming at me and going to eat me, then yeah, I'll kill it. But other than that, I'm good.
There's nothing like it, man.
Couldn't do it.
Nothing like it. Target up, target down.
No.
Go out, clearing through. You gutting her, putting your blade right through a rib cage.
Yeah, I'm good. I would just think of a dog. They look too much like dogs.
No, that is why I will never coyote hunt.
Deer the same.
No.
I see.
Deer look nothing like a dog. Coyotes do.
No, I had a dog growing up. Yeah, I'm sure coyotes do look like dogs. I've never really seen one up close, but I have seen deer up on my porch at my mom's house staring at my dog that looked exactly like it. The deer was like, "What are you doing inside, bro? You should be outside with me." It looked exactly like my dog. I would never do it because it's literally like a dog.
I'm going to do side by side of a deer and a coyote, and you tell me which one looks more like a dog.
I'm sure coyotes look more like a dog. I'm just saying deer look like dogs to me too.
Coyotes look like wolves. That's a coyote.
Yeah, for sure. But people hunt that too.
Because they're horrible for land. And
well, but
animals,
I would still never be able to kill it.
Chickens, and if you have cattle, they're horrible. They'll kill anything. They'll kill chickens. They'll kill turkeys. They're.
It's a circle of life, man.
It is, but if that's your food source, you don't want a coyote coming after your livestock.
And I understand that.
Yeah.
But that's not my food source.
But a deer's not going to go kill a chicken.
Then why would you even kill it? Why would you kill the deer if they're not killing it?
Overpopulation.
They're just literally roaming the friggin' fields.
Overpopulation and population control. Same with wild boar. Except wild boar are extremely detrimental to crops.
Yeah, deers aren't. Deer just like, what's up, bro?
Well, they can be
I'll eat your
when they're
plants a little bit.
overpopulated.
I'll eat your plants a little bit. You're good. I'll poop in your yard for your dog to eat. It's fine.
I want you to work grounds of maintenance with me on a property that has a deer issue, and then you'll be like, okay, the time is now. I'm just going to kill it with a knife.
I still wouldn't.
Not when you just planted all them plants and all them bushes, and then you come back the next weekend, then all of a sudden all them things are gone, and you
Then
just
you
spent.
fence it off.
And if the fence is too close, they can still get to it. That's why you got to spray the bush with deer piss. Then it deters them. Mm-hmm. And then it leaks all over your clothes and all over your back because your container leaks.
Ew.
Yep.
Yeah. But I still wouldn't. I couldn't do it.
You'll be all right.
I'm good. What else is going on? 49 minutes. What else we got?
A lot.
You ran through those 25 facts real quick.
Listen, we were lied to growing to school. We have to tell them. We got to tell them we have literature for them to read.
It's weird. Dude, there's so much stuff that we were lied to as a kid, like even from our parents, that were universally enforced throughout like everyone else's parents. Like keeping the 2 lights on up in the driver's seat when you're driving, you'll get pulled over. That's not true.
Same with the dome light.
That's what I meant, the dome light.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Right.
Why do people tell us that?
And you can high beam people to let them know a cop is coming. It's legal in New York State.
Wasn't there like a myth going around about how there was gangs that were roaming around the streets, and if you they would have their high beam or their headlights off, and if you would flash your lights at them like, "Hey, bud, turn your lights on," they would come and murder you?
I think that was an MS-13 thing that happened in other states. Check that. But yeah, MS-13 is not a group that you should be with.
No, they're animals, but you can't say that. Reuters, the big boy Reuters who knows everything right, said, fact check, flashing your headlights is not a trigger for a deadly gang initiation right. Shut up, Reuters. What do you know? Go back to your bread or wherever you're from. I'm good.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
All right. So I seen you what days? I saw you
Saturday.
No. This week.
Yeah, you saw me last Saturday for the Bills game.
Yep.
Which was a great game, by the way.
Then I saw
Historic game. The best game ever to be played.
Then I saw you yesterday, record another interview with Western New York Exotics, which is insane. I see you today, which is Wednesday, so I saw you Tuesday, Wednesday. I see you Saturday, and I see you Sunday. 4 days this week.
In 8 days, it's five times in 8 days.
5 times in 8 days.
And then we got an interview next Tuesday and Wednesday or something, right? Or the next Wednesday and Thursday. We have 2 interviews next week.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, we do. Did we confirm if one was a Zoom or not?
No.
All right, the other's in person.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
I'm fired up. The 25th is going to be really cool.
Yeah. We just got to confirm. I'm sure he'll be open to both.
Yeah.
So stay tuned to our channel to know who we're talking about.
It's going to be a really good one.
Some people will like it. Some people won't.
Well, it depends on what the conversation does.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But
we'll stick to our plan.
Yeah, and his story.
Yeah.
Because he's from a country that needs to be discussed, especially now, more so than any other time. So
next week, maybe that'll be a good talking point for you and I, then. We'll do research on it. Figure out why it needs to be discussed right now.
So if that's the case, we have to record a weekly episode on Monday. Because we got interviews Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah. Which is fine, because I'm home Monday, so I can turn on the heater. That's all I'm worried about.
It's going to be like -4.
Dude, I emptied this twice today, because it just kept filling up with water. I want to figure out how I can not have this also be a dehumidifier at the same time.
Well, we need to dehumidify this space.
No, man, we're good.
No.
So when we took this inside last time, because it was 4 degrees outside, we never took this out. So
it got freezing in here.
So it was freezing in here because all the snow and everything and the coldness was coming through the pipe and just leaking.
Sick. Sick.
We need to buy a bucket and a hose to hook to the end of this thing so we don't have to keep lugging this out. And the hose just fills up the bucket.
Yeah.
Then we just take the bucket outside. 'Cause I'm sick of moving this thing.
Yeah. No, that's easy.
Yeah.
Super easy.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We got some studio upgrades in the mix. We got interviews coming up. We got 2 next week, as you just heard, so we're excited for that. And we got a lot of business meetings coming up.
Oh, yeah. BHH making moves. If you want to be the first to know about the moves that we're making or any announcements that we're making or any merch drops that we're doing outside of the sweater drop that you already know about because you're listening to the episode, you can become part of our Patreon Happy Hour crew. Patreon.com/Buffalo Happy Hour. You can also follow us on YouTube, and please subscribe, leave a like, and a comment on this video. But if you are not watching on YouTube, first of all, what are you doing? We do love you guys that are listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Ziggerbox, or whatever we used to do. But if you are and you do want a visual episode, go to youtube.com/Buffalo Happy Hour. It's awesome. It's a good time over there. If you're not and you do want an episode that you can just listen to, you can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're literally every place that you would ever listen to your podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at the official Buffalo Happy Hour. We finally got away from the 12 because I don't know why we even named ourselves the 12, but we are the official Buffalo Happy Hour. You can follow us on Facebook. It's Buffalo Happy Hour. And am I missing anything?
No.
I think we nailed it.
Yep.
All right. This is episode 123? 123, 122, something like that?
We're losing count. Everything's fine. We're here every week. We're not going to stop. So thank you all for your support, and we will see you next week for another fun-filled discussion.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, everybody. Please remember to drink responsibly, be a good person, and Michael.
Do not litter.
We're out.